Esso v Southport Corp is a landmark case because it clearly delineated the boundary between direct injuries, actionable in trespass, and consequential damage, actionable in negligence or case. It affirmed the strong public policy behind the defense of necessity, prioritizing the preservation of human life over proprietary interests. Hello and welcome to Landmark Case Laws Simplified. Buckle up as we explore the fascinating world of Esso versus Southport Corp together. On the 3rd of December 1950, a small steam tanker, the Inverpool, owned by Esso, was navigating the Ribble estuary en route to Preston. The weather conditions were harsh, with a strong north-northwest wind, force 7 or 8, and a rough sea. Suddenly, the ship's steering became erratic. Shortly after, the propeller struck something, and the vessel ran aground on a revetment wall. Fearing that the ship would break its back and endanger the crew, the master made the decision to jettison approximately 400 tons of fuel oil to lighten the vessel and refloat it. The tide and wind carried this oil onto the foreshore owned by Southport Corporation, spreading over 7 miles and causing significant damage. It also polluted the corporation's marine lake, which had to be closed for a period. Southport Corporation sued Esso, bringing claims in 3 areas of tort law: trespass, nuisance, and negligence. The case proceeded through the High Court and Court of Appeal before reaching the House of Lords, which unanimously reversed the appeal court's decision and restored the original judgment for Esso. In doing so, the House of Lords clarified several key principles regarding the boundaries of tortious liability. A central legal issue was whether the oil pollution could constitute trespass. The House of Lords upheld the principle that trespass requires a direct and immediate interference with the plaintiff's land. The entry of the oil onto the foreshore was not direct. It was a consequence of the ship running aground and the master's decision to jettison the cargo, with the oil then being carried by the natural forces of wind and tide. As one legal summary notes, the damage was consequential and thereby could not be a trespass. The harm was indirect, meaning the appropriate action would be in case, or negligence, not trespass. The House of Lords also recognized that the master's actions were protected by the common law defense of necessity. The court accepted that the master's primary duty was the safety of the ship and the 11 crew members on board. Jettisoning the oil was a reasonable and necessary act to prevent a greater evil, the potential loss of life and the total destruction of the vessel. Because the act was justifiable to protect human life, no liability in tort would attach for the consequent damage. The decision also clarified the limits of nuisance. A claim in nuisance for a one-off escape, as opposed to a continuing state of affairs, could not succeed without proof of fault. The House of Lords rejected the idea that the ship's presence in the estuary constituted a nuisance and affirmed that, in this context, the claimant must prove that the damage was caused by the defendant's negligence. Thanks for watching.